Hi everybody, PJ Kwong here, otherwise known as At Skating PJ, and I thought it would be fun this year for my brand new At Skating PJ podcast to do a preview of the World Figure Skating Championships. So I'm joined here by my friend Mazin the Oracle Thomas, and we're going to talk all about Worlds. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about Mazin. He's a former national competitor in both singles and pairs in Canada. He was a competitor at the World Professional Figure Skating Championships in singles. He's a former show skater. He's been coaching for a really long time, and we are very good coaching buddies and friends. Mazin, thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. And you know what? First of all, it's always great to spend time with you.
I love spending time with you too.
Yes. Second of all, it's always great to spend time with you and talk about skating.
I know. Who else do I have to talk to? Nobody except myself. Okay. So one of the places where Mazin coaches is the Toronto Cricket Skating and Curling Club, which is home to a number of skating legends, coaches and skaters, including Javier Fernandez, defending world champion, Yuzuru Hanyu, 2014 Olympic champion, and Nam Nguyen, and Sonia Lafuente, and
Javier Raye,
yes,
and Dylan Moskovich and his new partner Lubov. You know what? A lot of people are there.
Place is hopping.
And the energy is absolutely incredible right before Worlds, right now. Everybody's pumped, ready to have a great time, and to show their stuff.
Well, and interestingly, just last night, we're taping this on Wednesday, just before Worlds, and last night I was at a simulation at Skate Oakville, where I saw Javier Fernandez skate, where I saw Nam Nguyen skate, where I saw Lubov and Dylan skate, Alain Chartres skate, Gaby Delmond. It was wonderful. Now, you tell me from a coaching perspective and from a skating perspective, how important is a simulation before competition?
It's invaluable because the skaters have an opportunity to go to potentially a different ice rink, which allows them that opportunity to kind of have to get reacquainted very quickly with the facility, and also a different ice surface, and just being able to kind of go through the necessary steps as to what they're going to do before they compete. Their on-ice warm-up, their off-ice warm-up, and you know what? It's invaluable. No matter what happens at a simulation, the takeaway is always invaluable for those skaters.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Michelle Lee last night, and she was saying that, as an example, Alain Chartres, her student, had not, who's Canadian champion and on her way to Worlds, had not skated third in any competitive segment this season. So this was going to be an opportunity, because she skated third last night, to figure out what to do once the warm-up was finished. Do you take your skates off? Do you go backstage? Do you do some, just some off-ice jumping? How do you stay sort of mentally focused and prepared? All very interesting stuff. So now tell me, your particular bailiwick, one of the things that you love is pair skating as a former pair skater. So let's talk about the World's pair field. It's a very, very dynamic field, to say the least. So what are you looking at? What do you think?
Do you know what? I have to give credit where credit is due, and our own Canadian and world champions, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, in my opinion, have raised the bar technically in pair skating to a level in which everyone around the world is saying, we've got to step up. Yeah. We've got to be able to do what they can do. And they, I think, in my opinion, have really helped to change the face of pair skating.
I think so too. You know, it's interesting, when you think back to Worlds, where Barb Underhill and Paul Martini won the World Championships in 1984, they won it with, as their solo jumps, double flip.
Exactly.
So Megan and Eric do side-by-side triple lutzes. So when you think about how the pair skaters have had to maintain their amazing single skating, it really is a very demanding discipline. And I think that at the World Championships, Megan and Eric have led the way technically, which means everybody else has had a mark to aim for. So what do you think is going to be the most important thing as we're looking at the world pairs? What's going to set the pairs apart one from the other?
At the end of the day, it's going to be strong, clean skates. Mm-hmm. Let's put it this way. The athletes, especially in the pairs discipline, are so capable to do the elements that they're doing in their programs. It's going to be the ones that are going to skate perfectly clean. That's what it is. Do
you know what's so interesting? When I look at the Russian team of Tatiana Volosojar and Maxim Trenkov, the Olympic champions, and then Ksenia Stalbova and Fedor Klimov, the Olympic silver medalists, And the fact that these two teams have not met each other at all this season, and neither one of those teams wants to be beaten by the other. And Ksenia and Fedor beat Megan and Eric at the Grand Prix final. So from that standpoint, I think that it's a real horse race. And then you've got the Chinese team of Wen Jingsui and Song Han, who are dynamic, whose personality and just the way that they interact with each other has improved dramatically. So what do you see as sort of the biggest element that they're going to be doing? Do you think we're going to see some quad throws? I think so.
Well, yes. Eric and Megan do a quad throw Sao
Yeah.
as right to date, and they have competed with it, and you know what, they've been very successful with it. So once again, I say that they've upped the ante as to what all of their teams are doing. I will tell you the truth that the Olympic champions from Sochi have a short program this year that is just, it's wonderful. You know, they've really tried to come back to portraying a theme and a character within that short time of that short program and still get the elements done to a level in which is just wonderful.
When, let's move on to ice dance, because when you're talking about themes and whatever, I think of Canadians, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget, who've now been on the podium twice, once as silver medalists and last year as bronze medalists. I think of them as the consummate storytellers. They were going to skate to a short dance to Elvis-inspired music, and they moved over to this absolutely glorious waltz. And her dress is one of my favorite skating dresses ever.
It's all about the dress!
But what do you think? I think that the ice dance field is really almost too close to call. I mean, you've got Caitlin and Andrew, who won the Grand Prix final for the second consecutive year. Then you've got Maya and Alex Shibatani, who won the Four Continents title this year. And then we've got the French team of Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron. They won last year's world title. They've now won their second consecutive European title. And if you look at the scores to try and separate them out, these three teams are really within a couple of points of each other at any given time. So I think that it comes down to preference. So what do you think? What do you see?
You know what I do see this year is the free dance of the American team, the Shibutanis, the brother and sister. Skating to Coldplay. First of all, I think it is a fabulous program. And as a skating coach, coaching a brother and sister free skate pairs team, I know the difficulty that it is that trying to put a piece of music and choreography together for brother and sister to be able to skate to. And this piece of music by Coldplay, I think, is a venue that is just, it's great.
Yeah.
It's fabulous for them for this season. I also think that they've got a great hometown advantage by having the World Championships in the United States. So, you know what, like you said, it's going to be a horse race between the ice dancers this year, between the French team and our Canadians, Caitlin and Andrew, who are consistent, as I repeat what you said too. They're wonderful storytellers. Their quality is absolutely incredible. It's world class.
You know, and then there's also Madison Chalk and Evan Bates.
Exactly. Don't count them out.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? A dark horse to be sure, but I really love what Canadians Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier have done this season.
Oh, for sure.
Just really dynamic, really interesting, really innovative. It just blows my mind. All right, the ladies. Here we go with the ladies.
Here we go.
What do you think?
Lots to talk about.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what? First of all, I mean, can we just talk about that young Russian girl?
Yevgenia Medvedeva.
He
paid me, by the way, to say that, so you wouldn't have to.
So that I would say it properly? No, so that you would say it properly. She's wonderful.
Well, and consistent as all get out. Junior world champion last year. Do you know what, Mazin? She could very well make history this year. She could become the first person to ever win a world title in the ladies division, subsequently from junior world one year to senior worlds the next. And you know what? She's on track for doing it. Grand Prix final champion, European champion. She won one Grand Prix at Skate America, was defeated only by her teammate, who's another frontrunner, Yelena Radionova. So, amazing. Okay, Mazin, let's talk about the ladies. Okay, first of all, Yevgenia Medvedeva. He paid me, so he didn't have to say that, of Russia. She's the 2015 World Junior Champion. And if she wins the title, and I think she may, because she is so consistent and so talented, but if she wins the title at Worlds in Boston, she will become the first women's skater to go from junior world title to senior world title in subsequent seasons. It's really very exciting. So
that's incredible.
Her consistency, I think, is what sets her apart from everybody else. What do you think?
I also think that she's fabulous. I agree with you. She's also angelic on the ice. She's angelic looking. I mean, the way that her programs are put together, costuming, and her technique. Do you know what? She's lovely to watch.
I think so too. She's only been beaten once this season, and that's by teammate Yelena Radionova, who's another front runner, as is world silver medalist Satoko Miyahara. So how do you distinguish those skaters from
You know what?
one
The
another?
second Russian girl, I do enjoy her skating, but I am going to be honest with you. In my opinion, I find her a little frantic at times
Okay.
on the ice. She gets through her job and she does what she needs to do with a great deal of emotion. She's still very young,
Yeah.
but I think that she could be refined, and she still has. She's still young. She just needs to be a little bit more refined, but yet extremely talented.
What
Don't get
about
me wrong.
Satoko?
She's the queen on ice.
Yeah.
In Japan, that's what they call her. My understanding is that she's so elegant. She is a impeccable figure skater to the T. She is what we all call in figure skating. She's got the right package.
Yeah.
Okay, she's packaged beautifully from the music choices to the choreography to the costumes, everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know what? We would be crazy if we didn't mention the North American contingent between the Canadians and the Americans. Americans, they have the ability to climb on the podium and take all three spots if they want, but they're going to have to skate. So, what do you think about the Americans?
You know what? For the first time in a long time, they've got three wonderful women that actually are contenders.
Yeah.
They're not only competitors in this event, but they are contenders in this event. Like we have to talk about their new U.S. Ladies Champion, Gracie Gold, who just did an incredible job at the U.S. Championships. And she's a front runner too,
Yeah.
for them. Ashley Wagner,
Yeah.
she's got the guts. She's got she's very aggressive, with what she wants. But she's also got incredible artistry, great speed, and she does her job. And then the youngster, Paulina Edmonds,
Who won the short program
exactly.
at US Nationals. Yeah.
She's fabulous. So between all three of them, good for the United States, and they've got the advantage.
Home ice.
Home ice for World Championships this year.
Canadians, Alain Chartres and Gaby Delmond, I saw yesterday at the simulation. You know what? Alain Chartres covers the ice like nobody's business. Gaby has such outstanding power. I'm placing a lot of faith in the Canadians.
I am so happy for both of those girls. First of all, I see both of them at the club that I work at, the cricket club, and as well, do you know what? Their speed, world class.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of world class, best for last. Here come the boys.
Here we go.
Talk about the boys. So I am predicting that this is Yuzuru Hanyu, Olympic champion from 2014. This is his event to lose.
True.
You know what? He is somebody who is so dynamic. He's set a world record, 330 points, .43 that he sent 2 weeks after setting his first world record. So he is head and shoulders above the rest of the crowd. Now, if he blinks, if he has a bad short program, if he skates with his guards on, there's problems. But overall, I think that this is his event to lose. 3 world champions in this event.
PJ, when does that happen?
I know.
mean, somebody out there tell us the last time something like this has ever taken place where you have world champions competing against
And
each
they're all
other.
contenders.
And they're all great.
Yeah. Javier Fernandez, defending world champion. And of course, Javier Fernandez, Yuzuru Hanyu, and Nam Nguyen, who was 5th last year at Worlds, all trained together under Brian Orser at the cricket club.
That's right.
And then we've got Patrick Chen, 3-time world champion. And all, in total, those 3 world champions, I think it's going to be a bit of a dogfight. And
I
then
agree.
We've got the Chinese youngster, Boyang Jin, or as Kurt Browning likes to call him, Boing, 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 because honestly, he jumps like crazy. And then there's Shoma Uno.
Yes.
All right, here's the fun part. PJ's podium picks versus Mazin's medals. I love alliteration. Okay, let's go with pairs. Who's your pick for pairs? Mine is, I'll tell you, Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, on the strength of when those two have their backs against the wall, they do what they need to do in order to come out on top.
Do you know what? I have to go back and forth between the Olympic champions from Sochi, the Russian pair team, and then as well our own Canadians, Eric and Megan. I just think that it's going to be a dogfight between those 2 pair teams, but I agree with you. Eric and Megan are going to be on top.
Perfect. Ice dance. I've gone with Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poche. As we mentioned, it's a 3-way tie basically going into the event, and there are other contenders as well. But basically for me, it was between Maya and Alex Shibatani, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poche, and Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron. all three are worthy. So I love the short dance, and I think that's what gives Caitlin and Andrew the advantage. So they're my pick. How about you, Mazin
Well,
Thomas?
you brought up the term advantage, and I have a feeling that because the World Figure Skating Championships are being held in, the United
Boston,
States,
yeah.
I think the Shibutanis might have that slight edge amongst the other two teams.
All right.
That's my pick.
Let's go with the ladies. I'm going with Yevgenia Medvedeva of Russia, based on her consistency, based on her talent, based on the fact that she's European champion, Grand Prix final champion, and last year's World Junior champion. Who's your pick?
No surprise. I'm going with you.
Are you?
I am. I'm going with you
love
on
it.
that one because I just think that, you know what? I think that she's on a great ride right now, and I think she's riding a great wave. Keep going.
Perfect. Okay, and finally, the men. My pick is Yuzuru Hanyu, but I'm telling you, he has to put out 2 solid programs in order for it to work.
Do you know what? This is a tough one for me. I love all 3 skaters that I'm going to mention between Yuzu and Javier and Patrick. I think that
Me too.
all of them are capable of being that world champion. Back up against the wall, PJ. I think I'm going to go with Yuzu at this point in time.
Okay, there you have it, everybody. Get back to me on Twitter @SkatingPJ with your predictions. Don't forget, the @SkatingPJ podcast is every 2 weeks here on openquandor.com, and it's only skating for the skating fans. Okay, everybody, that's it for us. Thank you, Mazin, for joining me.
Thank you, PJ.
You were the best. See you later. Bye-bye.